Hi folks, it's Colin Fraser from My3D Themes, and in this video I'd like to show you how to update the new mobile or off-canvas side menu specifically for our Oxygen template, or this may be for a different template, but when we see the side menu like so, this is our newest mobile side menu. Now, the thing about the side menu or the mobile menu is it's one of those things where you may not want to display it for your desktop users, but it's certainly no harm. We want to make sure that you as a developer know that there is such a thing as a mobile menu, so we want to make sure that these are visible for you right off the bat. But it is designed specifically for mobile users. Now, one of the cool things about having a separate menu for mobile users is you can really dictate which pages are displayed. In the standard top menu, when converted over to a mobile menu, one of the downsides to that is whatever you're displaying for your desktop users, you're also displaying for your mobile users. And in some situations, you may not want certain pages available because it really depends what's on those pages. Some content is not well developed or designed for mobile users, especially tables or tabular data where you have large amounts of information in a table. It's very hard for a mobile user to see that. You may not want to even include that for your mobile users. Anyways, with that said, let's jump into it. So, off-canvas menu. Where do we locate it? We go to the library, the shared, and the menu off canvas. We open that up. And what you see here is a very long list, basically the entire list of pages in our Pro package on down. Now, what I'm going to recommend to start with is we're going to really skinny this down to the basics and then build it back up. Don't try to modify what's here. I'm going to show you how to start fresh and create your own menu for your own website. But just to sort of show you a couple things or special things about this menu is when we open it up, we have what we call a top tier menu item, home, about. I'll just refresh the page here because I've made a couple updates here. Home, about, contact. These are top tier items. They link directly to a page. They do not have a little drop down arrow beside them because they link directly to a web page. If you see the little drop down arrow, this basically is the top tier item with a sub menu. Now, the top tier item does not link to a page directly. It only opens a sub menu, and the sub menu items link directly to pages. Now, you can only have one level of drop down, and this is done specifically to keep it tidier for mobile users. If you had subs within subs, eventually it's going to get so convoluted it just makes navigating on a mobile device very hard and impractical. So we've limited it to just one level of drop down or sub menu. Okay, now with that said, in our off-canvas menu, if you have a list item, and that's all this really is, it's a bullet list item. If you have a sub-menu, the list item is indented below the parent, and these are the items that's linked. Now, the parent item, if it's a drop-down, has a class of down arrow. And I'm just going to select the A tag and select Edit Tag to show you that if you have a parent level item such as basic package, we don't actually link it to a page. We just use the pound sign and we add the class of down arrow. So there's our basic package. It does not link to a page. We just use the pound sign and it displays the down arrow via that class of down arrow. Okay, so there's just a couple things because I'm going to be going and talking about those in more detail in a second here. So here's where I suggest you start. When you first open up your menu off canvas, select the basic package. Go up to the quick tag selector right here. See where it says down arrow and then the LI tag right beside it? Click that to select the entire basic package and all of its sub items and delete. Same with standard. Just click on the word standard or the word package. Go to the down arrow, go to the LI beside it, click delete, select, click delete, and we're going to do this for all those items like so, because those are really just items that are for advertising what type of pages and making it easier for you to find those pages and preview them when you're building the site. But for your users, we want to start fresh. So let's start with, I'm just going to get rid of everything but the home page, because we really should have a home page link in here. Now we're just going to save this and a quick preview, and we should only have one menu item. So how do we change the link for this menu item? At this point, if we want to change this link to something, we just double click on it, right click, hyperlink properties. We can browse to whatever page we want, and we can select the new page. If we want to change the name, we go up to the text to display, our page. You just type in the new name right here. So you change the link and the name in the hyperlink properties, click OK. You're done. Bob's your uncle. Now, that's how to change the name of a button and change the page it links to. To add a button, just simply put your cursor after an existing button, hit enter, type in the name of a button, new button, select it with your mouse, right click, hyperlink properties, and find a page to link to and click OK. That's how to add a button. Let's just save that. We'll just preview as we go here and just make sure everything adds in nicely. Now we have our page and new button. So far so good. Let's add some sub menus to new. Let's actually add a new button with sub menus. Let's see how that works. We're going to now do the same thing. We're going to hit enter, new button, subs. Okay, so this is going to be our parent menu item. So what we're going to do in this case is select it, hyperlink properties, £. Okay. We're now going to go to the A tag. We're going to edit the tag by clicking on it, right-clicking and selecting edit tag. And it's already going to be blinking where we want it to blink, as you see here. So we're going to hit the space bar, type in CL for class. It automatically gets selected in your Microsoft editor, and hit enter. For the class name, type in down arrow. All one word, all lowercase, just like that, and the check mark. Okay, so now we've created a new button, but it's going to be a parent item. Hit enter, and we're going to add 3 sub buttons. We're going to call it sub 1, sub 2, sub 3. We're going to link each of these to a page in our site. We're just going to pick some pages at random here, like so, and hyperlink like so. Now I'm going to show you a little tip here. First thing we want to do is indent these items, okay, like so. And we select it, and we use the indent tool and select an indent. Now, one of the things I've noticed in Expression Web 4 and probably other versions of Expression Web is when we create this parent type button here, right, the first item below it is another list or set of list items. The very first one, if you look up here, we have the A tag, the LI tag, and then if we click right here, it says UI, mobile menu UI. Now this doesn't happen in all editors. It does in mine, so it's a good example of what to do, is we want to remove the mobile menu from the sub list, right? It's automatically transferred from the parent list item, which is right here, right? That's our parent list. Well, the sub list, that class name is transferred over to it. We don't want the class name of UL Mobile there. We want to select this sub item. We want to edit the tag, and we want to scrub over the class equals and remove mobile menu. So just delete it like so. Get rid of the white space. So all you have left is UL with a bracket on each side, and click check. And now we're going to save, and we're going to preview our work. So now we hit open. First page, second page, there's the new title button with the subs below it. If we click it, it now takes us back to our index page where I linked it to. And now you can continue to build your list items just like that. You can now hit enter, and you can decrease the indent to make another top level button, and you can keep going and building your list buttons just like so. The key point to this particular item is if you have a parent level button with submenus, this one right here, the A tag must have a class of down arrow. It doesn't have to, it'll still work without it, but people won't know that it's got a sub list below it. And the very first item below, the very first sub item below, has a UL tag that wraps around that entire sub list of items. It cannot have any class applied to it, or the menu won't work properly. You just have to remove the class if one is applied.